Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, and today I am joined by two of my favorite comedians, two of my favorite people. First up, immediately to my left, from the Badger State by way of the Old Dominion, it's my friend
Rick Wood.
Hell yeah.
Hello.
And coming to us from New Orleans, Louisiana, where I will be on May 22nd and May 23rd, it's our friend
Justin Otis.
Welcome back to the show, y'all. It's great to see your faces. All right, so we're not going to dance around the issue. We just got to start the way we do. And of course, that is with our ongoing battle with low energy folks. I don't know if you've seen this since you guys have been on last, but shout out my friend Ashley got this for me. This is a WWE belt / igloo cooler. It's,
Fanny pack.
That's a fanny pack, yes. And it's strapped around the waists of hundreds of people floating on lakes at the moment, as my friend Seth Pomeroy said.
I would love one of these designed to look like a bomb vest.
Suicide vest.
Yeah. Or like the pizza bank robbers collars.
Ooh, yeah. Cooler that goes around your neck.
Now, are you worried that other dads will challenge you to that fanny pack?
Hey, I say bring it on. You know what I'm saying?
See, no one challenges you for your dynamite belt. They say, go have fun with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for today, go ahead and pop this out. There is a very, very familiar company that is entering the energy drink market. Justin,
shit.
go ahead and tell the folks
the
what we've got.
boycott.
Oh my God, yeah. Free Palestine. Watermelon twist, Starbucks Ice Energy. Starbucks is getting into the
They got the energy drink thing now, yeah. And as far as the boycott goes, yes, I do support that. They are in fact just licensed out to Pepsi. So
You said I did the research. I broke down how the company's structured.
Yeah.
And in my responsibility, I stole this.
yeah,
Don't worry about the boycott. I stole this.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I am going to talk shit about them, as you are probably aware. But
Yeah, I got beef with Starbucks, so we can do
Starbucks.
that.
I had Starbucks breakfast this morning, but it wasn't by choice, so I
what'd
was
you
down
get?
for beef. Well, my girl, she got me the little egg.
The egg bites are good.
Yeah, the egg bite is good, but it's like Starbucks, and it's like I could have better egg bites somewhere else.
It tastes like Jetsons food or
Right.
something like shit that would come out of like a combobulator.
Yeah.
yeah, well, this is the watermelon twist flavor. It's got 160 mgs of caffeine. So
How much is in like a cup of coffee?
coffee is approximately 80 to 90, depending on the strength of coffee. So it's kind of like a double shot espresso, essentially. Yeah, something
In
like that.
one cup of coffee, like 8 ounces, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
How much of this should you have in a day? I assume you've researched this because you just said MGs.
400 is the 400 is the upper limits of what you're supposed to
5
do.
cups of coffee?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll have like 12.
Well, you know.
Like I just make the whole pot and live alone and probably gonna die that way real soon.
Hey, you know, there's better ways to go out, or worse ways to go out, I should say.
Man, good thing I never got that lemonade from the Panera Bread.
Oh, see that shortened my life significantly. There's a
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, buddy, that was a time.
Damn,
yeah.
I've had like 7 cups of coffee today.
Have you? All right. Well, let's go to the
My
moon.
arm hurts a lot. Maybe.
Ooh,
Hey, that sounded good. I can't wait till my arm doesn't feel a thing.
Oh, here's my.
Oh, God.
It's
Ooh,
actually got a
ooh.
color to it. That's kind of rare.
The ASMR is going crazy right now.
Oh, yeah. This is everybody's favorite part of the show, y'all. Oh, hell yeah. There we go. Cheers, fellas. Let's we'll give it a sample, see what we think. All right. I hate to say it.
Yeah, we're
Pretty good.
It is. It's nice. Like, so, because I think energy drink, I think it's going to be right in my face. No pause. But, you know, it's not bad. It like knows itself. It's like Starbucks. Like, okay, we know our limits. We're not going to try the most. We're not going to do the most. But
Yeah.
we're gonna still give you that energy.
That's actually a great point. Yeah, it does. It's exactly kind of what you would expect. And, you know, I've said before, you know, there's obviously just horrible people that run energy drink companies, but I will give the devil his due. And in this case, pretty good. What you thinking, Rick?
Tastes like a cold Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of want to put a bag of any Jolly Ranchers, but watermelon specifically,
Yeah.
in the freezer.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Kill. Well, because now with Jolly Ranchers, now they're making slushy versions of Jolly
yeah.
Ranchers. Like, I think 7-Eleven has been releasing some, but they're like limited time. But it come out in the summer too, so they pretty much are doing what you talk about. Like they really are recognizing, oh, we should low key do something. With this.
We should figure out Jolly Rancher ice cubes.
Yeah, well, I can do you one better. The C4 energy drink company has Jolly Rancher flavors now.
Oh,
so we could have a an energy Rita, watermelon energy margarita.
Yeah, if you froze this with some rum or vodka,
yeah,
you can have a real white girl summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or hot girl summer. That's mostly who I felt like was excited about it, though.
Yeah. I'm going to give that like a 4 out of 5, personally. What do you guys think? Out of 5, what are you giving that?
I'll give it 3 out of 5, just because 4, you got to really be divine for me.
Yeah.
For a 5, you got to make me be like, oh, I'm going to heaven. But
right.
3 out of 5, I feel is good enough. So 3 out of 5.
I mean, I'm going to say I'm going to maybe go down to 3.5. All I'm saying is it's not horrifyingly objectionable, at least as a taste, as a company, as we're about to see. Yes, but
This tastes better than Red Bull to me.
Same, yeah. Red Bull is my bottom, as people know. That's my bottom basement flavor. That's the flavor I hate the most.
Tell you what, Red Bull, the only energy drink that's killed a cop.
Yeah.
The Red Bull Air dragged a police officer to death underneath his sports car in Bangkok and has been on the run since.
That's right. That's right. We talked about that.
So, yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if I don't know what the cop situation is in Bangkok. So I don't know if ACAB counts all the way over there, but if it does, go Red Bull. It gives you wings.
Yeah, he's an international fugitive, the grandson of the founder of Red Bull.
Oh shit! So this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I didn't go to UCB. That was in the news.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were saying like the guy who voiced him or something. And
the real hero.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
It's a Thai company.
Yeah, we covered.
Not that being Thai has anything to do with it, but that is where it happened.
Yeah, because they're originally from Thailand, and we found the Asian version of Red Bull and tried it on the show. And then I was looking into it. I was like, oh, what is this? And apparently he's got like 5 years left before the statute of limitations of killing a cop is done.
So he's just waiting it out so he could come back to Thailand. And
Yeah.
be like, all right.
Yeah. And there's some, people online that think he's hiding in Austria with the Austrian half of the company,
Wow.
which is fucking hilarious. Like, hey, bro, could you do me a solid and hide my grandson from prosecution?
That's why they have that goofy flying machine contest.
Fluke Dog,
Yeah, but that's just a ploy for means by which he could try to get over the border into Thailand for Christmas every year.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
he's
right.
like, the best short flight thing is going to be how I come in from Myanmar this winter.
Yeah.
For whatever celebration for Songkran.
Well, I wanted to say shout out to the Starbucks Workers United Union. It's been 2 years and they're still trying to reach a contract with over 550 stores. Unsurprisingly, Starbucks is being assholes about it, as you might imagine. The company's latest proposal did not offer immediate pay raises or increases to healthcare benefits and did not establish a minimum number of scheduled work hours, according to the union. This is why this is fucked, is because back in February, there were 2 federal mediators that were assigned to cover this case. And as you might imagine, Trump fired one of them. So now there's one person trying to mediate between these two. And
it's not going good.
the union and the company are both pissed about it. So the one thing they're united about is that sucks. That was a shitty thing to have done. Yeah, I just wanted to say shout out to them, support the union if you can. But, there's this... Anytime, like, I was reading this article, the reason it kind of came up, it was on Facebook. And anytime there's any discussion of any sort of like minimum wage type job like that, the comments are just littered with people being like, this is a job for high school kids. It's not that hard. You shouldn't be paid $20 an hour to do this shit. And I always want to say, have you ever been to a Starbucks?
Yeah, it's high maintenance over there.
It is the epicenter of chaos in the universe. Like,
yeah, also, what time are you planning on getting your coffee there, champ?
Right.
Because high school, last time I checked, that shit starts around 8 o'clock.
Right.
And
I mean,
you're working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You're drinking some cold fucking coffee at the office.
Well, and that also just means that any high school students that are working there at night, which is when the real freaks are at Starbucks.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where you want your children to be, at a Starbucks under the moonlight. So I thought I would do what I always do just to prove my point that this is a fucking crazy job. I'll start off by asking you guys, like, what's the craziest shit you've seen in a Starbucks?
Luckily, I've seen videos of craziest shit.
Right.
So it's maybe like someone like taking an actual dump on the floor.
Yes, of course.
Or someone giving a very complex order. Like people were learning that you could get those Harry Potter drinks, butter balls or whatever.
Oh yeah,
you can make them at Starbucks. Butterbeer, and there's a bunch of like ironic Harry Potter fans. Oh, we should all go there to Starbucks to do that. And someone was always like, "Don't do that, please. That's too much work for us. We already have a lot more. Like, please don't do that at all."
They're busy all the time. It's
The unicorn frappuccino was that. It was just an Instagram stunt.
People on the Starbucks barista Reddit talk about the unicorn frappuccino the way old men talk about Nom.
Yeah.
like the day it came out
or something for them, or Normandy.
Yeah, they're like, this was the worst day of my life because not only are you dealing with the amount of drinks that are being ordered and how complicated that is, but also it's children, so you've got their parents screaming at you too. So just
and then they just huck them.
Yeah,
my ex-wife manages Starbucks out here, a couple of them for years.
Oh yeah,
she said the trash can outside the building was overflowing with bees because it was overflowing with unicorn frappuccinos.
Right,
people would come, take a cute photo, and then just huck it. She said it looked like a cartoon, like it was like an Instagram model influencer girl, like, got the unicorn frappuccino.
Right.
And then just it would land on a pile of them that way all day long.
drink one sip and be like, ooh,
Corey Feldman used to lock himself in the bathroom at the Sunset La Brea one. And, get high.
Oh, wow.
This was a long time ago.
Okay.
It was like around a little bit after we'd moved out here.
Is this like post reality show that he did with Corey Haim or pre?
Yeah, it was after that. Pre the band thing, though.
Okay, so he wasn't. He wasn't in the.
But he was coming back in the news, like saying like, "Hey, all this really bad shit happened to us when we were kids." But
right.
My wife at the time would come home from work, and I'd be like, "How was work?" She was like, "Corey Feldman locked himself," and this would be like. Remember the day that it happened again.
Yeah.
It happened like 3 times, I think. It was the first time I remember thinking like, Jesus, what the hell is our life like?
Yeah.
Everywhere else we'd ever lived or done anything, it would just be like, I don't know, some guy was a dickhead. And now it's just like, Corey Feldman's doing drugs in the Starbucks bathroom.
The star of License to Drive and the Lost Boys.
And also some guy was a dickhead and a person threw a cup of what might be feces at me. So
oh god, is that the worst?
Poop attack is a pretty big deal.
I mean, that's
Hollywood.
that's
bizarre how that's common.
But she did one time, speaking of what you're saying about this is not an easy job, in a moment of being like frustrated and everything else, she's like, I feel like I'm a social worker. Yeah. Because she would try to help, because there was a lot of unhoused and mentally ill people that were causing the problems. She's like, I can't just call the cops because they don't really do anything. They're just mad at me now and nothing has been done. And she's like, so then she's just learning about all these programs and like who to call and shit. She's like, I spend 10% of my day managing a Starbucks and like 90% of it trying to get everyone who's causing problems in there help from somewhere else so they can go away for a minute and at least get their shit figured out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because that's one of those things like you don't want to call the cops because A, they're not going to show up, but then the worst possibility is B, they do show up and
now you're the Starbucks that person got shot in.
Right, exactly. This is one of the first jokes I ever wrote. This was 2010, and somebody on Fox News was saying President Obama and the Starbucks crowd, blah blah blah. And I was just like, have you ever been? I was like, that is the realest place in the world. Right. You were saying the president and these people that nobody on his level or yours could ever relate to, all gathering in one place. Like, fuck off.
It's kind of been like a conservative diss forever to be like,
go to Starbucks.
these liberals and their sushi, and then they'll say like their Starbucks, and then it's something they can't get enough of in 15 years.
Straight up, nobody.
Like, every blonde-haired fucking dipshit Karen sitting passenger princess in that piece of shit lifted work truck that's never seen a speck of dirt in its life is like, can we get sushi? after Starbucks, it's like 15 years ago, you and your husband would have been like sitting in some other big dumb piece of shit complaining about all these libs
Yeah.
eat sushi.
It's
Yeah.
like now it's like Tesla's now, electric cars. Like 15 years ago, people, these hippie dippy cars. Now it's like, this is America right
now
here.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Nobody loves drinking a 3,000 calorie frappuccino more than a guy in a gigantic monster truck in the
Right.
South. That is who buys Starbucks.
Like a milkshake is better for you.
Straight up.
If
Yeah.
you went
Oh,
to
yeah.
Bob's
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Boy and got a chocolate shake,
Yeah, yeah.
better nutrition.
In-N-Out shake, any of those, way better for you than a frappuccino.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is. The funny, yeah, I don't know. I do the Hollywood tours, and we have lots of Australians are very picky about their coffee. They just got Greek people over there like 15 years ago, so now they think they know some shit. And they'll come over and just be like, your coffee shit. I'm like, did you go to Starbucks? Like, yeah, it was the first place we went. I was like, yeah, man.
Of course.
Hey, what's the Ellie on these beans, yeah?
Yeah, straight up. Like, they have those.
Oh, it's sub 5,000. That's a shit Ellie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the tannic acid was just burning my nose as I drank it. But
Nor.
nor. That's my
Nor cream for me, please.
I saw a T-shirt that said R&R, AURNAUR. I was like, beautiful. But yeah, they'll, I always have to tell them like Starbucks is like caffeine milkshakes for children.
Yeah.
It's not a real coffee house. I just kind of got curious about these sorts of things and the stories that get shared. And of course, I went to the one place where what used to be the campfire that Primal Man sat around and shared their experiences. It's now a website called Reddit. And of course, went to the Starbucks barista Reddit and was just going to run down some of these stories from some of their users. And you guys feel free. Just tell me what you think. This person, Mel M., 2 years ago when I first started, I didn't really have training as our store was in transition and had no shift manager. There's a bit of a line at the register, but my other manager is assigned to that register and he has anger issues and is quite intimidating. So we're already off to a good start. She's
good.
working with the Incredible Hulk. I was told never to ring out another person's register, and I see a nightly regular and lock eyes with him as if I'm about to take his order, but my manager steps in front of me to work register for the people ahead of the regular, at which point he snaps, starts crying and shaking, and yells out that I ignored him. I froze and had no idea what to say. I ended up apologizing. Weirdest encounter ever with a grown man over a hot chocolate.
Oh, the regular was crying?
He was crying because this guy like stepped in front of her at the register and started ringing up other
Sweetie,
people.
that wasn't about the coffee
No,
or you.
no.
It's been a long day for daddy.
Yeah.
And it's
He
back
needs that hot chocolate. I need to
chocolate.
feel like I'm 8 again and everything's going to be safe or at least predictable.
That's a great point.
When you're young, you don't know that because everything has just happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everyone in the comments is fighting with their ex.
Oh,
That's the first thing
yeah.
you need to know.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, jam of the week coming soon. But yeah, that's very funny. You're right. That guy was just sitting in traffic, just being like, "It's a tough day. I'm gonna put on my comfy socks and I'm gonna go
Yeah.
get a fucking hot chocolate."
Hot chocolate.
I'm going to go somewhere where they treat me nice. They
Right.
know my name because I have to tell it to them and then they write it on the cup.
Yeah.
And then it just didn't work out. The Coca-Cola illusion didn't pan out for Ted. He cried a little.
Tip other says we have a customer who has a regular order of a venti iced chai, 14 pumps of chai, matcha powder,
Shit.
light ice, and it better not have foam. And then she wants a small cup
Oh, God.
of chai syrup, a cup of whipped cream, and a cup of cinnamon.
Sounds like a Wes Anderson character.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
You ever read that Lion, Witch, in the Wardrobe?
Oh, you're talking to Aslan the Lion in the 2000 Sanford Middle School production, friend.
You know, is that Edmund? He sells them out for that
Turkish Delight.
And then you ever have Turkish Delight?
It sucks.
It's horrible.
It's not good.
awful.
Now imagine what he would have done. Edmund would be like, which group do you want wiped off the face of the earth with horrible fire from hell? Give me a taste of that sweet fucking decadence. No one should get, you should have to save lives to taste whatever the hell they ordered.
I can abide the whipped cream. I can even sort of abide the chai syrup. a cup of cinnamon is
Right.
fucking deranged.
Well, the 14 pumps also let you know this person's mind is at.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Alphonse says, lady from the drive-thru comes inside and shoves her cup at me and yells, taste this!
Oh, no.
I'm taken aback at first, but then I calmly tell her I can't do that, and she yells, the espresso is burnt and I want a new one right now.
That's Starbucks' whole thing. Is we burn the coffee so that you can get more sugar in it.
Yeah. I had a tour group recently that came on a cruise through the Panama Canal, and they stopped in Colombia, and they were talking about like, yeah, we went to the Starbucks where they grow the coffee beans, and it was just really great. I was like, yeah, I bet it fucking is for the tourists.
Right.
No telling what the fuck they're doing behind the scenes, but I'm sure it's
Oompa Loompas.
yeah, straight up. Yeah, it's a Potemkin village, I'm sure. Meep beep beep. A few hours ago, hot off the presses, an old dude came up to the register and ordered his drinks, and everything was normal until he told me he really liked my eyes and asked if he could have them winked. He then winked at me and walked away.
That's not healthy.
That is a weird pickup line.
Right.
Oh, no.
Can I have your eyes winked?
Right.
Like, no. Stay away from my eyes, weirdo.
Yeah, working with the public is...
Yeah.
A fucking nightmare. Izzy Ann, a customer once asked me if I wanted to sleep with him and his wife. He said drugs and alcohol would be included. I hope he said it exactly like that too. Drugs and alcohol will be included.
Right.
Like not specifically what kinds.
That's inappropriate.
Yeah.
But if that happened to me, this wouldn't be like... That would be among the cool things that had happened. Like, this guy say he's going to give me fucking weed and booze to bang his old lady.
Yeah.
Most of the time, someone just goes, taste this.
Yeah.
And it's burnt espresso. It's rarely his wife's supple body.
Right. Dancing Jansen. I once had a guy ask for a short cup with just 8 pumps of classic syrup in it. I gave it to him and he goes, diabetic ferret. He likes it when I rub it on his gums. And that's when I noticed he had a ferret in the car with him.
That's
like,
why they banned ferret ownership.
That's just pure sugar. If your
Right.
ferret's diabetic, you're going to fuck him up, man.
It's really fucked up too. You got a ferret diabetic to begin with. That's just really disturbing.
Right. And what did you do to this poor thing?
Right.
I'm here to get a fix for my weasel.
My weasel's got the sugar foot. That is inappropriate, sir.
12-toed ferret.
Yeah. Macy, an older lady, had started coming in regularly and really liked chatting with me. Long story short, one day she came back after getting her drink, this time through the drive-thru, and asked if I made her drink. And I said, yeah. And she said, girl, you put your whole pussy in this strawberry refresher, and then drove off. I was like, that's almost a little. That's almost a little funny.
Is that slang like you did a real good job? Or girls saying
I'm
that
assuming
now?
that is what it is.
I
It
think
has to
she
be.
thinks that's what it is.
But the barista,
She sounded
confused as fuck,
excited.
but-
She's like, that's not a thing people say.
Right.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
Like if you said you put your whole heart into it or something, like, yes, that's a thing.
She was starting it off, though. I'm saying it now.
Yeah. I'm starting
Damn,
to
girl, you
trend.
put your whole pussy into this apple pie. Wow.
I mean, might as well. This one's fucked.
Put your whole pussy in this list of disappointments that I've been providing you with lately.
CTW. I had someone threaten me in a 15-minute long rant where he mentioned that he had a biological warfare capable mask in his truck, and he was taught to kill people in the army, and he knew how to produce improvised explosives and chemical weapons with coffee and bleach. This is because I asked him to wear a mask in April of 2020.
Oh no! It sounds like he read that Navy SEALs copy pasta, the one about.
Yeah.
Sounds like he read that. I'm gonna start telling that to baristas.
Right. I've read the Anarchist Cookbook. Don't tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody taught him any of that.
No, of course. Look, making a chemical weapon with coffee and bleach is,
Right.
I don't know. And we've got our chemist, Andy Vandy, listening. What, is that possible? It seems like no. Bleach and degreaser, yes, absolutely. But, not coffee. This one is just female Homo sapien. Good username. Nightmare stories. 1, when a kid threw up and we didn't close. 2, we found a bloody needle in the bathroom. 3, a coworker tried to kill me with a trash bag. I was like, just snuck up behind you and like put it over your head, I guess. Homeless guy yelled at me for sweeping when a human shitted on our back door.
Shitted as the past tense of shat.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of my favorite
I love it.
words.
Same.
I don't know when that started happening, but I had a friend who's like, he shitted. And I was like, it's the best way to say it.
It's perfect. I love the past tense. Yeah. And then this last one here, Natty B. One of my first nights working at Starbucks, a customer started cussing at me through the speaker box. I was shaken up and somebody else finished taking his order while I calmed down in the back. My coworker comes to the back and says the customer wants to apologize for making me cry. I went to the window and he said, I'm sorry I cussed at you. I just get stressed sometimes and I take anger management classes, but God has made me a better person than I was before. I am so fucking grateful to God. I'm even starting a church so more people can be saved from the shit in life. He then turned to the back seat and pulled out a wooden box and opened it up to show me what God had done for him. It was a stack of hundreds, a gun, and the Bible.
Oh.
He smiled, apologized again, gave me $5 and left.
That's like
I love this
episode
guy.
of Preacher.
Yeah. Look what God has done for me, and then just I love the gun. The gun really puts it over the top. That's fucking fantastic. So that's the rundown for Starbucks, folks. You know, be nice to your baristas if you do go to Starbucks, and support the Starbucks union in any way you can.
That's right. They should see if anything in that God box can help speed up that union process.
That's right. That's right.
CEO Howard Schultz testified on Capitol Hill today, defending his company's stance on unions. Schultz told senators he's not opposed to employee unions, but that Starbucks already provides competitive wages and benefits. But union organizers say the company has shut down and pushed back on stores that have voted to unionize.
We will not tolerate working conditions that are not right for our people. And we will continue to fight for what's right, for a living wage.
So I've got somebody that I would like to add to the Goods from the Woods Hall of Fame. So I always appreciate a bullshitter. And if that bullshitter can do magnificent things with their bullshit, that's going to be a prime candidate for the Goods from the Woods Hall of Fame. And this is a person that I found out about just, going down my various Wikipedia rabbit holes. So I was going to share the story of Fred Demara with you guys.
Okay.
So a little bit of history. This is Karen Conliffe writing for Head Stuff, Maria Konnikova writing for the Saturday Evening Post, and this is also from Robert Crichton's incredible book, The Great Imposter. Ferdinand Waldo Demara was born in Lawrence, Massachusetts in December of 1921, and his family was fairly well off when he was born, but the father lost a bunch of money to the Great Depression, and the family had to move to a poorer neighborhood. And Fred apparently was a bit of a trickster as a child. He once found a pair of artificial legs, positioned them sticking out of a snowbank by the road, and then just sat by watching and laughing at the reactions of motorists. So,
my kind of kid.
oh, totally.
Respect.
Yeah. Dad was a film projectionist, and his uncle owned a chain of movie theaters, so he grew up surrounded by images of actors, and he was also a fairly devout young boy and maintained a strong interest and belief in Catholicism throughout his life.
Not my kind of kid.
It's got both things going on. A very pious child, but also a little shit stirrer, which I think is fun. And at the age of 16, he ran away from home to if you ran away from home, where would you go? Los Angeles, Chicago, New York City. He went where everybody would go, Central Falls, Rhode Island.
Oh, wow.
And he joined a monastery.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
I love a guy
Did he run away from home or did he run away to home?
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. As you're going to see, this is his move. Run to the monastery. So the good fathers viewed the novice with some alarm as the boy already stood 6 feet tall and weighed close to 200 pounds.
Oh, damn.
So he's 16 years old and a fucking gigantic guy.
Is he smart or like a big old like pet a rabbit to death type of guy?
It turns out he's very smart, but in one very specific way. As we'll see. The monks also noted that he had a disgusting habit of devouring entire plates of turnips in seconds. So this is the trap.
Leaning towards rabbit petting to death, right?
Yeah.
I ate all the turnips, George.
Yeah. So this is the Trappist monastery that he's joining, which is like very regimented. Like at 3:30 we wake up and pray. At this time we do this, and they have their very the way they do things, and they stay quiet most of the time. It's not a full vow of silence, but you're expected to be very quiet. And meanwhile, this just like just devouring all of the food that they give him. The rule of the monks was that one had to be a resident for 5 to 6 years before taking vows. But after a couple of years, Fred left. He later said that the abbot of the monastery felt that he was better suited for teaching out in the world rather than living in quiet contemplation.
Basically, they were sick of listening to him guzzle turnips.
100%. He ate with his mouth open. I guarantee you that was what it was. He's just over there just going, and they're like, we got to do something. Lord, forgive us, but we got to get rid of this fucking guy. Soon afterwards, he became a teacher at a Catholic school for boys in West Newbury, Massachusetts. And after a quarrel with the brother superior, he stole the school's station wagon, learning to drive as he went skidding down to Boston.
That's the B-side to the famous Dropkick Murphys song, Shipping Up to Boston.
Yeah, skidding
down to Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
What ships up must skid down, we all know.
So in early 1941, Fred got drunk and enlisted in the United States Army. So again, we're not in the war yet.
Right.
It's early 1941, but like
he senses something. He's like, I'm going to do my part.
All indications are like it's going to pop off at some point. So
I'm going to eat them out of turnips.
Yeah, that's right. They'll switch him over to the beef stew, and he goes to the Army. Fred did not find the Army as congenial as the monastery. I love that sentence.
Oh.
It's like, these Army guys are different than monks. And after a year, he deserted and joined another monastery under the name of his Army buddy, Anthony Ignolia. So he goes AWOL, goes to another monastery. Demara was well aware that he had committed a crime by going AWOL, and at first he felt no guilt. And then suddenly, when America was attacked at Pearl Harbor, he wanted back in.
Oh, no.
This is his quote. I wanted to do my part. I like this country, you know? Where else but America could a man do all that I've done? That's what I call freedom.
Go back on his word and eat a lot of turnips? You can pretty much
do that.
Much do it anywhere they got turnips, essentially. Yeah.
So he left the monastery, this time joining the U.S. Navy. Fred, now Anthony Ignolia, was trained as a hospital corpsman.
What year was this? This is 41?
41.
Yeah,
this is 42. Yeah, like the war.
No one's keeping track of anything. It's all paper and boxes.
The war is like absolutely happening at this point.
Get away with it all.
Yeah. So, he trained as a hospital corpsman, but when he realized that this meant serving on the front lines, he tried to forge the credentials that would let him become another person and enroll in officer training. The forgery was detected, and Fred was forced to go on the run, and he faked his own suicide.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. What did he fake it by?
They're on
suicide by vanishing.
They're on a boat, so I assume he was like, I jumped over, I couldn't take it anymore.
My hat snagged
exactly
on this railing.
Pin a note to it. Yeah.
Plummet into the sea.
I just like that. Yeah, he's like, wait, what job did I sign up for? Oh, that sounds like it sucks. Let me become a whole nother guy and become another job.
Also commonplace, too, how you could easily fake your own death back in the day, and no one could really do anything.
I love this. It's my favorite thing about,
So what did he think? He's like in the Army already. He's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Goes
to
the
you got a
monastery.
taste of it. You run away. Then
Joins
the Japanese
Navy.
crash planes full of explosives into boats, sinking them. And you go, fuck that. I'm putting an end to that. You sign up, and then you're like, oh, this is going to be dangerous?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a one-time plan they had where like, all right, first we're going to crash into them kamikaze style, and then pure diplomacy.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he signed up to be a hospital corpsman, which means that you're on a medical boat.
Yeah, how did he think the guys got hurt?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be near the action. I want to be helping out the hurt people.
It's like where you're surprised they're keeping the medical boat near the battlefield. That's what they do. So he fakes his own suicide. Fred then showed up at another monastery in Louisville, Kentucky. This time under the name of Dr. Robert Linton French, a doctor of psychology whose search for truth led him to abandon the world. So now he shows up as Dr. French.
Fucking cowardice world of Walter Mitty is this guy up to?
So, like Tony Agnola, Dr. French was also a real person, as Fred's normal MO was to find a real person living in obscurity, gain copies of their documents by mail, birth certificates, university credentials, etc. So basically his thing was he'd find a guy who has the qualifications that he wants for a job he wants, and then, somehow start a correspondence with them. And
he was the original doxer, basically.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Early ID theft guy.
Straight up. Yeah. This is like early identity thief. But back in those days, this is the days in which, and I've talked about this on the show before, like, when I got access to newspapers.com, which has the archive of newspapers going back hundreds of years, I searched for my grandparents just for funsies, see what if there was anything that popped up. And one of the few things that popped up was from one of the papers on Staten Island that was like, Obie and Ruth Langley are going to Florida for the next 2 weeks to visit relatives. But it would say like of Bryson Avenue.
They put that in the paper?
They put the paper they were going to be gone for 2 weeks, and then the fucking address.
There's a house to rob.
Straight up. And and that was common until the mid-century.
Horrible idea to do.
It's crazy.
Doing all right considering.
That's what I mean. I've talked
you
about
hear something like that, and you're like, maybe.
Well, there's so many stories that we cover on the show, like from history, where it's like, if you just were halfway good at lying back in the day,
you get far.
Oh yeah, Axel Foley would have been running the world.
Yeah, you could get so far with just that, and then you read something like that, and you're like, gosh, if I had a time machine, go back and just steal the jewels out of all these houses where they're like, yeah, they're going to be gone. They're in Germany for a month.
No wonder there's so many bullshitters around now, because like in the middle of the century, like it was a huge survival,
survival.
You could have like 17 families. You just kept changing your name to a new doctor.
Oh yeah.
This guy like probably he probably like let 20 of these little fucking psychos left behind him.
Unfortunately, Dr. French was caught talking constantly and persistently eating the grapes intended for the celebration of the Eucharist from the monastery's vines.
This guy will only go to the military or the monastery, and in the military they need you to be brave, which he will not do.
He will not do that.
In the monastery, the main thing is
don't be a
nothing
glutton.
Should be coming out of or into your mouth that often.
Right.
Except for fucking air, and we prefer you used your nose, you loud palate freak.
I like that it's the holy vines too, where he's just like, they're like, hey man, we need this for that religion that we're doing here.
Jesus' blood grapes.
So the monks eventually asked Dr. French to leave, at which point he traveled to Chicago and studied law and philosophy and ethics at DePaul University, aiming to become a priest. He excelled at his studies, but when he found himself close to taking holy orders, he got cold feet. So he's almost about to be a priest, and he's like, actually, I'm going to disappear.
This guy has like an avoidance disorder or something.
What
I love it
anytime
so
a challenge arises, he's like, I'm not
I dated this guy for a little bit. Total alcoholic.
Oh, he is that too. Yeah, that's happening as well. Unwilling to take the vows as a fraud and afraid to reveal his imposture to his colleagues, Dr. French vanished.
Yep. That's him, all right.
So he resurfaced in Erie, Pennsylvania, learning psychology at a university, and then moved to Los Angeles, where he spent some time as an orderly in a sanitarium.
Where is World War II at this point?
I think World War II is over at this point.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's
through the war.
Yeah, he lived through the war, but he's still a fugitive from the Navy. Using French's name and credentials, he got another job teaching psychology at a university in Washington State.
Fuck! Someone's therapist was taught by that guy.
Yeah.
Though he never,
you could push your wife down the steps. Dr. French, that's fun.
Though he never really studied psychology, he just kept to his own, studying a chapter ahead of his students in the textbook.
Oh, shit.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
I mean, that's all they do.
Yeah.
Anyone I ever knew that taught was basically that was it.
He very much enjoyed Washington State and enjoyed teaching, but made the mistake of getting comfortable. He became friends with the local sheriff, Frank Tamblin, which Don't talk to the cops if you're wanted by the federal government for abandoning the military.
It's real John Wayne Gacy behavior here.
It is, yeah. This is the co-ed killer. This is Ed Kemper. Sheriff Tamblyn made him a special deputy, and Fred made speeches supporting the sheriff's bid for re-election. But one day, the sheriff turned up with a warrant for Fred's arrest. And at the station, 2 FBI agents were waiting. Fred had been identified as a deserter, and he was taken back to L.A. and spent 18 months imprisoned in the U.S. disciplinary barracks in San Pedro. Dude, don't tell him anything. Don't talk to the cops. Just don't. I know you want to because it makes you feel good that you're getting away with something, but no, don't do it. So after he was released from Navy prison, Fred returned home to Lawrence for a while, but the temptation to assume a new identity proved too much for him. I love a guy just sitting home, just his hand is shaking. Like I got an imaginary guy in my head. I want to be. Lord, give me strength.
It just sounds like he just needed some improv in his life. Like he could have just signed up for improv classes.
Yeah, he could be an actor. Right. This would be completely legitimate. This time, he decided to become a biologist in Kentucky named Dr. Cecil Hammond. And under this name, he got a job at Massachusetts Eye and Ear, a Harvard-affiliated hospital that still exists today and combines teaching, treatment, and research.
Don't let reality stand in the way of your dreams.
I'm telling you, man, this was so easy before the fucking internet.
Yeah, wow.
He got a job at Harvard's hospital, just like, yes, I'm a doctor. Yes.
I've made my degree for every graphics design job I've ever gotten.
I mean,
I never went anywhere, but yeah.
That proves you're really good at it, you know? He eventually left Boston and headed north to Alfred, Maine. So again, I love that he's just attracted to like these towns where she's like, why here? So he was teaching with the Brothers of Christian Instruction. So now he's like teaching at a monastery, a school run by the monastery. And the brothers were delighted to welcome such a quote unquote highly qualified man into their flock. And the story even made the local papers, something which almost led to disaster for Fred when the real Dr. Heyman read the story. Luckily, he was a bit of a procrastinator and never got around to reporting Fred to the authorities. That's the fucking... Imagine reading the newspaper where it's like, yeah, Justin Otis and Rick Wood are heroes, local heroes. You're like, I'm just sitting here. What the fuck are you talking about? That's how they put it in the article, too. It said, you just never got around to reporting Fred to the authorities.
Well, you know.
So, 1951, the Korean War is raging, and that old military bug bit Fred once again. Oh, no. And after stealing a colleague's credentials, he became Surgeon Lieutenant Joseph Sear of the Royal Canadian Navy.
Wait, so he has to go, that means he had to cross the border, then go to Canada, then do all that?
So it said he was working in Montreal, and I guess he was working with this guy, Joseph Sear, and he goes, hey, I can get you a medical license in America, just give me your documents, and then disappeared.
Oh, no.
And, you know, as you might imagine, Joseph Sear later, after what's about to happens, is like, wait, what did I do?
These people also had to find out that they'd been quite busy, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the thing. He would always pick these kind of like...
Not dead people. Huh?
Not just dead, but like...
Stuck at home.
Kind of living in obscurity. Yeah, these are like older fellas and stuff like that. So, yeah, he becomes Joseph Sear. And unlike a decade ago, this time Fred actually ended up in the war. That led to his most famous exploit, in which he masqueraded as Sear, worked as a ship's doctor aboard a Royal Canadian Navy destroyer, the HMCS Cayuga, and his most notable surgical practices were performed on 16 Korean combat veterans who were loaded onto the ship after a battle.
He just winged it, I guess, then? Surgery on them?
So there's a big battle. They bring all these guys onto the ship. There's 16 people who are pretty fucked up from the war. All eyes turned to Fred as several men needed urgent surgery. After ordering personnel to transport them to the ship's operating room and prep them for treatment, Fred disappeared into his room with a field guide that he had persuaded a fellow physician to create, quote unquote, for the troops in the event that a doctor wasn't readily available. That's fucking genius. So before he leaves America, he's like, hey, just in case I'm not on the boat, could you explain to these idiots how to do surgery? And somebody typed this up, and so he goes and consults that. And at that point, Fred performed major operations on several of the men, including chest surgeries, and somehow all of them survived.
What? This is like the king of like, I went to YouTube college.
That is exactly what that
I kind
reminded
of
me
love
of.
him.
I do too. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was
At first, I hated Fred for being a coward and a flip-flopping idiot who can't decide what he wants to do. But now I'm...
It's like, if any of them had died, it would be a different story. But the fact that he somehow fucked around and saved all these people, including doing open chest surgery,
that's
which is
insane.
crazy.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Like, apparently some guy had like a piece of shrapnel or a bullet or something in his fucking aorta, and he pulled it out and he lived. It's amazing.
16.
Yeah. So Sears' story of heroism was published in Canadian newspapers, at which point the real Dr. Sear heard about it and the jig was up. Demara confessed and returned to Canada to face a court-martial.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
He's 15 up then. If
Yeah.
his life is a total waste, he's still 15 up.
Oh, yeah. Which that tells me the fact that he ended up confessing means like they had guns drawn on him or something.
Right.
Like they had him
Yeah.
dead to fucking rights.
Right, you can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, because he escaped every other time. So you're just like, yeah, he
Yeah,
had
what are you
to.
mad about me for? Having a fake name or saving 16 of your fucking guys?
But my favorite is how similar to the monastery that Canada acts. He returned to Canada to face a court-martial, but faced with the embarrassment of having allowed an imposter onto the Royal
They
Canadian
said, you
Navy's
gotta eat
ranks.
500 turnips, eh? That's the punishment.
A board of inquiry instead chose to quietly dismiss him and deport him to the U.S. So literally they were just like, get him the fuck out of
Right.
Canada.
You can't let people know about this.
Yes, exactly. I was like, that's perfect. And yeah, exactly. He was probably chugging maple syrup the whole way
This is
back.
like if Dennis the Menace was Forrest Gump.
It is. Oh, God, that's a perfect way to put it, too. Holy shit. Fred once again fell back in with his parents in Lawrence, where he was contacted by a journalist from Life magazine. Needing the money, Fred agreed to give them an interview. The story of the fake Navy doctor had already been in the papers, and Fred saw this as a chance to put his side of the story out there. In a move that would come back to haunt him, though, he also posed for multiple photos in the magazine.
Oh man!
The first rule of stealing everyone's identity
Don't
is
show
don't
your
get
face.
famous.
Don't have an identity. Yeah. Be a faceless person.
Should have done what Banksy does. That's
Yeah, exactly. It's like there are ways to make this happen, Fred. Don't, I mean, it says he needed the money for the interview, but it's like, come on, man.
You just hire a guy to be Fred.
Yeah. In 1955, Fred resurfaced in Houston as Dr. Benjamin Jones, a professor from Mississippi. I want to hear the guy from Massachusetts fake Mississippi
Right.
accent. I'm sure it's going to be funny.
That's how fucked up this world is, though. Like, he saved 16 guys just
Yeah.
by winging it. He's not allowed to be successful as of self.
Right.
Still, he
Yeah.
still has to, or he's got a disease. He's just completely unsure of himself.
That's it.
Yeah, he's like that. Like, the secret ingredient was actually a vial of water. You had the skills to make a delicious jambalaya the whole time.
So, and it's funny because he's always a professor or a doctor almost every time.
Right.
But in this case, he is applying to join the Texas Department of Corrections. So, asked for 8 character references. He simply wrote them all himself.
Of
So,
course.
absolutely.
How
Dude,
come the movies about these guys, they always got a bunch of women in the cellar instead of out there doing a good job and
Yeah.
eating a lot of turnips, being pious?
Yeah. Have you guys ever put an actual reference, like that's not like a personal reference, that's not just a buddy of yours on a job application? I feel like I only work at shitholes, so I'm just like, hey, they might call you.
You know, and like Cal Jobs makes you make a thing so that you have to get a job if you're ever on unemployment insurance.
Yeah.
I put real people who hate me in that one.
Oh, that's
Rick Ward needs a job. Fuck up.
and then they think they're crazy.
Tried to find one. Send me
Yeah.
that check, please.
Oh, that's a good
I
move.
haven't done
good
that, but
way
that
to
would be
do
a
it.
good reason to do it, huh?
That's a great move.
I put Rick Shapiro's number.
There you go.
Used him as a reference.
Yeah. You fucking LA Fox calling me.
He didn't give me a ride.
Play the green grass of home by Tom Jones again. So yeah, he's trying to get a job being a jailer in Texas. As for 8 character references, he made them all himself using a canny strategy. Now, I love this. Fred applied to the head of the wrong department, knowing that the man would then forward it to the correct person. So he's trying to get a job with the Department of Corrections. He sends it to the Texas Rangers, and they're like, oh, that's supposed to be in this box. And now the Department of Corrections has a letter being handed off to them from the Texas Rangers or whoever.
Wow.
So it adds a layer of
This guy would have destroyed it as an agent or manager in Hollywood.
Fuck yes, he would.
Especially through the 60s and 70s and 80s.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Even now, the skill. But yeah, he wouldn't even need an actual client. He would somehow get work for a thing he made up.
Yeah.
It's a complete, like a 360 deal with
a fake actor.
Yeah, with Tony Clifton or something.
Yeah. This lent his application some borrowed legitimacy, and he was accepted. He was initially assigned to be the lieutenant guard of one of the big prison farms in Texas. However, the harsh working conditions for the inmate and the open brutality and racism of the guards disturbed him too much, and he transferred to the prison's recreation department. So first of all, it's 1955 in Texas, and I love that he's surprised, like shocked, scandalized. Oh, these guys are dicks.
He's from Massachusetts, which is also known to be racist.
Yeah, exactly. So also I like that there's the prison recreation department. So it doesn't say what he was doing, but he somehow worked his way up to being the deputy warden of the new Shamrock prison. You know, it's just he's failing up, but it all came crashing down, unfortunately, when one of the inmates recognized him from the Life magazine interviews.
No.
That's the scene of the movie, man. The inmates just sitting there, like, kind of tapping the magazine on the bar. Hey. Confronted by his boss, Fred denied everything, but as soon as he was out of the man's sight, he went to his room, grabbed everything he owned, got in his car, and fled. Fuck yeah.
That prisoner's an idiot. I'd have just been like, hey,
I know who.
Get
what's
stuff
it
out of
going
it.
to take to not talk about?
Can I have a pack of cigarettes every week that I can trade for various sundry items, please?
Yeah.
Some hamburgers or something. Like that's
yeah. Get the Andy Dufresne deal and get some fucking beers or something, man. In the summer of 1956, Fred stepped off the ferry on North Haven Island in Maine. This time he was Martin Godgart, the new teacher at the local boys' school. He taught the kids English and Latin, and he was also
He never gets a fun job.
no.
You know, he's never like, I'm the new lion guy at the circus or whatever.
With his skills, he could be like a PI,
He
basically.
could have done
Yeah,
so much. That's the funny thing about this is you're like, he's got skills, but he doesn't care.
Right.
He just likes the changing his name and running away and doing menial shit. Godgart taught the kids English and Latin and was also active in the local community.
He's a bit of a scoundrel.
Oh yeah, definitely. People on the island took a liking to the stranger, and Martin Godgart became popular. So he's like friends with everybody on this
These
little island.
people's reputation he improved. I mean, that other doctor, he didn't save 16 guys from the Korean War.
No. Unfortunately, Fred started drinking again, and after one too many indiscreet comments around town, the mother of one of the kids he taught ordered a copy of the old Life magazine.
This guy made up a whole fake life, and then he got so drunk, he was like, by the way, I'm famous for doing this.
Yeah, that's what I
You
think
could look
so.
it up in a magazine.
Yeah.
This guy's the worst.
Yeah. That's my favorite part is,
I get blackout drunk and reveal my whole jig. Oh.
I like, it just says indiscreet comments, which could mean anything, but I do like to imagine it's like,
I'm a famous huckster identity thief named Fred, you know. I was in Life magazine.
I went to Korea and the World War
You don't
II.
want to fuck Godgard, huh? What about Fred the ID thief? Fred the ID thief was in Life magazine wearing gray sweatpants, and you can see the shadow outline of my monster hog. So I come here and give Fred from Life magazine a kiss if you don't want to go out with old Marty Godgard. You stuck-up bitch. I didn't get drunk last night and reveal my entire ploy to pretend I'm the music man or whatever the fuck is happening.
When her suspicions were confirmed, she turned Fred over to the FBI. Oh, fuck you. On February 14th, 1957, Fred was arrested.
He's the head of the FBI, though, so who cares?
Yeah, he somehow he gets J. Edgar Hoover's job when he dies. Fred was arrested and taken off the island, but the judge only gave him 2 months probation for not having a teacher's license.
Oh.
You know, he's not a scoundrel, he's a scamp.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah. 1959, author Robert Crichton published his book about Fred called The Great Imposter. The book was a bestseller and made Fred Demara a household name.
That's what imposter syndrome should be. He truly has imposter syndrome.
He wants to always...
I can't stop being an imposter.
Yeah, it's so much cooler than just feeling like a fake. And
hey, everyone else has loser syndrome. I feel like a loser all the time. I'm just racked with loser syndrome.
This is real imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So he decided to take advantage of his newfound fame and took up an offer to take a bit part as a surgeon in a Hollywood film called The Hypnotic Eye.
The Hypnotic Eye. Terror loose in the city streets, reaching from the plush nightclubs to the beat joint's bongo beat. A strange animal magnetism that drives women to do things hidden deep within their subconscious, and bringing violence and mutilation and death to the innocent.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
The poster looks badass.
That'd be
I've
a
never
great
heard
name
of it.
for a bookstore that smells like moths and guys who like drink too much coffee and talk about really intense like Eastern Bloc politics and tweed jackets that stink like the old nicotine used to.
Yeah. He also made an appearance on Groucho Marx's game show You Bet Your Life, where he and his partner, a Brazilian woman named Carmen Phillips, won $2,000. Fred joked that he was donating his half to the Feed and Clothe Fred Demara Fund.
You're an amazing man, Fred, and next time Khrushchev visits this country, I think it'd be a good idea if the government would first find out where you are. Wouldn't it be a good joke on us if Eisenhower was really talking to Fred here instead of Khrushchev?
In 1961, Tony Curtis played Fred in the film adaptation of The Great Imposter. Tony went on to claim that it was his favorite role of his career. Fred, on the other hand, voiced his displeasure. He looks nothing like me, he commented. And keep in mind, at this point, he's huge. Right. He's already really tall, and now he's getting really wide. So,
did they have a big old, like, fat guy in Hollywood then?
Orson Welles.
Yeah, Orson would have, actually, man, Orson would have been the guy.
Yeah, in 61, he could have been all...
Yeah, I'll just pull up his pictures so you can see him.
Oh damn.
Jackie Gleason was the thing that came to mind.
They had to play Babyface Nelson.
Oh, yeah, no, brother, art thou?
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah, there's Fred.
Mackerel. This guy looks like a real Leave It to Beaver villain.
Yeah. He's got, I mean, it's a little too, I don't know, I guess if you did it a few years after this, he's got kind of the Belushi eyes, the eyebrows a little bit.
Yeah.
So you could probably do
Bobby
a Belushi.
Moynihan's going to be doing it. We're doing the remake.
Yeah. I think we should, man. It's a fun story. So he ended up working as a counselor in a homeless shelter in downtown LA for several years. In 1967...
You think you're down on your luck? You think you're a loser? You think you're just a bum? You could be anyone you pick out of this file of people whose records I have, and we can make you them. Don't dream it, steal it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let someone else do all the hard work, and you just come in and you're a surgeon too.
In 1967, he finally got some real credentials, getting a degree from a Bible college in Oregon. And with this, he got a job as a chaplain in a hospital in Anaheim, California. In 1970, he was almost fired when his past was discovered. But since his name and credentials were real for once, the chief of staff vouched for him and he was allowed to keep his job. Fred was a popular chaplain, though he rarely discussed his past. He did claim to have delivered Steve McQueen's last rites, but considering Fred was very sick at the time and Steve McQueen died in Mexico instead of Anaheim, pretty unlikely, but I do like that he got one last little bullshit story out there. He was allowed to live at the hospital until his death due to a heart attack in 1982 at the age of 60. When asked by his biographer, Robert Crichton, about the leading passion of his life, Demara replied, "It's rascality. Pure rascality."
He's a rascal. That's what he is.
Demara even impersonated Crichton on a couple of occasions.
Wow.
He even fucking scammed his own biographer.
I bet you every time you've ever talked to someone famous with your Ouija board, is this fucking
this guy.
Yeah. He's the only ghost on the Ouija line.
So that's the tale of Fred Demara. I just, I'm very jealous that how easy crimes were to do.
It was so simple back in the day. You could just low key just go from state to state, pretend to be someone else.
Yeah, and I think it is true somewhat to this day. We cover stories from modern times. We're just like, how did you not know this guy was full of shit?
Right.
Yeah.
So people are, man is a social creature. We want to believe other people. But man, all it takes is just one fucking guy to be like, I bet I could get away with it.
Yep. Fraud pays, folks, and it's easy.
Yeah. Well, I try to tell this. I have doing my job. I have tour groups from all over the world
That he defrauds.
and I try to explain to them. I'm like, they'll tell you America's pastime is baseball.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
really.
getting away with shit.
Yeah, pretty
That
much.
is the thing that fuels us. And my most surface level example of that is I remember the Dodgers were in the World Series back in, I think, 2019, and then they lost. And I was at the public house up the street in Los Feliz. And, when the game was on, I'd say 75-80% of the bar was watching the game. And then the Dodgers lost and everybody made their way. I was there the next night for a comedy show. And when I got there, 100% of the bar was watching the police chase on the television. So it was like, this is our sport right here. It's just people being like, go, go, go. Get under those bridges. So none of this is surprising. We are a country founded by provincial redneck lawyers.
Yeah.
So like hucksterism and bullshit and getting away with things.
That's us.
It's baked into the DNA of this country, but man, it's fucking great when it works out. And he doesn't, he's kind of like the CEO of the energy drink that we found out had stolen $12 million from a bank. Where it's like he's the least bad criminal.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a real says who guy.
Yeah.
Anything you think is a rule, says who.
Yes.
Oh, that's late. We can't get you past the deadline. Says, is God going to come down and kill everyone if you put this piece of paper on top of those other pieces of paper?
Who's to say I'm not a monk and an engineer and a cop and a fucking...
Yeah, the fabric of our delicate society might unravel somewhat. Get out of here. There's no fucking rules.
Yeah, well, his quote that I read, I didn't write it down, but it was something to the effect of, he's like, in any organization, there's a lot of power just lying around.
Yeah.
I was like, that is fucking genius. Oh, well, yeah, shout out and welcome Fred Demara to the Goods from the Woods Hall of Fame.
Stop! This surgeon is no surgeon. He's an imposter. Stop! This monk is no monk. He's an imposter. Stop! This warden is no warden. He's an imposter. Stop! This lover is not the man he pretends to be. Who is he? He's Tony Curtis as the Great Imposter. You read it in Life, Time, Newsweek, the true story of Ferdinand W. Demara and his amazing masquerades. Now see it on the screen, the hilarious, suspenseful, romantic story of the man who made a fantastic career out of living other men's lives. A true adventure so incredible it makes the wildest fiction tame by comparison. The Great Imposter, with the exciting music of Henry Mancini, famous composer of television and records.
Y'all, we have time for just one more segment. And of course, this is our Jam of the Week.
Looking back at me.
Y'all, got some prime 2004 butt rock for you. This is a band called Crossfade, the pride of Columbia, South Carolina, y'all. This is from their self-titled album,
Creatine.
Well, no, Crossfade is, I actually had to explain this to somebody. Crossfade's when you're drunk and high at the same time, man.
Oh, that's the name of the band, yeah?
Yeah.
And the album is not called Creatine. What
No,
is it?
it's also Crossfade. Self-titled album, 2004. This is a very serious breakup song, and in the video, the guy is trying to rock out, and his girlfriend comes in and is like, "Fuck you," and they get in a fight, and he doesn't let him rock out. So that sort of set off quite a few people in the comments here. This song has 153 million views.
Damn.
31,407 comments. And y'all, I read every goddamn last one of them. So
This is very much like wraparound sunglasses vlogging in my truck music.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
If you're a guy who's people describe like, I know, he's just like a guy.
Yeah.
He's just like a dude. And it's like, oh, he loves bands that sound like this.
Damn, I thought I had some wraparounds handy, but I guess I just got these. That's all I got. Yeah.
I'm an undecided voter, and I listen to Crossfade and Disturbed.
I got these.
And I'm definitely voting Republican. But I want to hear what the other side has to say so that
I got these
I can
free.
ignore it.
I got these free at the self-storage unit. They're giving them out. But yeah, this is first up down in the comments for this song. We got Matt Saber 14 years ago.
Fuck yeah, back in 2011.
And boy, this should really be the slogan of this entire segment. It should be illegal for drunk, lonely, single men to listen to this song past midnight while having access to a phone. I've been guilty a few times.
I called up the Wendy's and made him deep fry the cordless phone in the fry later. Thought he was going to say access to a gun.
Oh, that's later.
Oh, great.
Ruben Holker, 13 years ago, listened to this song for like 2 hours before bed every night, thinking about my bitch-ass ex-old lady. Fuck it all!
At least the world's going to end in December like the Mayans promised.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This one is Colby Solomon, 6 years ago. Sent this song to my ex last night that I haven't talked to in weeks. She came and fucked me like 12 times. Thank you, Crossfade, for helping me catch my nuts.
It's just like a lot of guys who want to live fantasies. That's what the.
That was like that.
Fucked me 12 times.
Right.
Hold on.
At
now.
once, somehow.
I sent the song to my ex last night that I haven't talked to in a week.
Yeah.
And so it was, it was after 10. That's an
Yeah.
after 10 text.
Yeah.
12 times. Now, no one fucked till 10 in the morning. That didn't happen. So it wasn't no 12 hours. What are you thinking? They probably went from midnight till 2:30.
Yeah.
In the 2.5 hours, 12 separate instances of sexual intercourse. What is this, a magic grid?
Yeah. I don't know. Just like the idea of just sending really any
Like
song,
12
but
times.
especially this. Like, oh yes, I know what'll woo a woman, a hollering man.
Well, one time I picked this girl up when I was pretty young for a date, and not pretty, but I was like 18 or something.
Uh-huh.
And that Jimmy Eat World album had come out
Oh, sure.
a little bit before that, Bleed American. It's got some soft shit on it,
Uh-huh.
and I'm a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
And I was listening to one of the soft tracks, and this girl gets in my car, and she goes, "The fuck is this pussy shit?" I was like, "It's Jimmy Eat World. Sounds good." I was like, "What do you listen to?" She goes, "Pfft, I like Disturbed and Mudvayne, shit that rocks."
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then I had sex with her, and I should not have.
Drake Pettijohn one day ago. Hot off the presses. This right here, this is beautiful. If your dad wasn't playing this and screaming it at you after drinking a 30-pack, I don't know why life was good for you.
Okay, now.
I like the fact this is a dad band right here. This is
It's our age. It's millennial
Right,
dads.
right.
Yeah. This is somebody's fucking kid being like, my 38-year-old
All right.
father is screaming this and getting emotional.
This is the kind of music you can't hold a flashlight very well to, right, guys?
Joel Cal 3 years ago. Fuck this song. Why cry for someone who doesn't value you? This is bitch status. You've never heard POD act like this.
They're bitch status for the Lord.
Yeah, I know. But I just like, why can't you be more like POD? You
Man.
won't catch POD slipping.
We are.
I've tried to find some POD stuff for this segment, and I think we did Click Click Boom. That one was pretty easy because of the MMA association, but it's like a little samey in the comments for POD. A lot of people got saved, and happy for them. Yep.
This next one's great.
Yeah. Israel Concepcion from 2 years ago. This song helped me through a bad breakup. I was so lost that I was about to shoot my cousin.
Shit.
But now I realize these bitches ain't shit.
Not Israel overreacting.
Wait, hold on. What's going on with your cousin? What does he have to do?
Crossfade invented mass shootings. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like the guy's cousin was making fun of him for dating someone who sucks or something. I was going to kill him, but then I realized, like, she does suck, actually.
That's kind of just how you start a sentence in certain parts of the South. I feel like I was gonna shoot my cousin, but I realized these bitches ain't shit. Yeah, I guess it is a little foggy out yesterday.
Stop the insanity 3 weeks ago. Here's another millennial mom. 2025 and forever. I caught my daughter here. I thought you didn't like my music, little girl. remember saying, Mom, your music is not good. This is Mom's music. Love that. Love that for them.
She got the unicorn frappuccino.
Oh, for sure. Oh, and then got mad about it and then threw it against not even in the trash can, against the trash can. Ass Man 864 2 years ago.
He's an ass man.
This song will always remind me of the first alcoholic I ever knew. My dad's friend, Michael Williams. Except
Son of Evan.
I didn't know that. I just thought he was a cool dude who always reminded his friends that he loved them every 5 minutes and then fell into things.
Yeah, an alcoholic. Why did you want to divorce those two things, you hater? Ass man.
He's still around today. He even sold me my current car, a 1993 Buick Century, which, man, shout out. All right, Buick Century, alcoholic. I'm just going to say that's probably his mother's car.
Oh, yeah.
And it, depending on how much...
Only driven to church.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And the liquor store.
There's a good chance Buick is not a bad car to buy, at least in the United States, because it's driven exclusively by old people. So probably a good deal. This one is Brent G, 14 years ago. I originally met my other half at a show of mine. Now she is over the idea of myself playing shows 5 nights out of the week. And my downtime consists of writing music, leaving no time for her.
Listen, fucking YouTube comments.
My response, fuck you. Music wins the battle in my heart. Fuck you for leaving me when I supported you in finishing school and your career.
Oh, finishing school, not finishing school.
Yeah,
I like the idea that this guy's like, I paid to send my girl to finish at school. That dumb fuck.
All she learned was to stick her pinky out and the salad forks go on the right.
Yeah, I could set a book on her head, but who gives a shit? I don't read.
Now, if she keeps demonstrating her curtsy, I'm going to be upset. Zicul Americano from 3 years ago. I had a lightning bolt strike my head in France. I touched an electrified fence in France. I was zapped to Kingdom Come. On that, I was on yayo, sleep deprived, and tripping from the weed in my system. A little hungover, but okay. It put my adrenaline into overdrive because my heart felt funny.
The selective capitalization in that is just like, what the fuck?
I got 2 more here. This guy, ready to throw down, unsurprisingly, Wolf Rage. Great name.
He's got invitations.
Oh, yeah. 13 years ago. If anyone else wants to talk shit, just visit my Facebook at Cliff Martin Bruce, and we'll see if we can't find ourselves a location to fight and work out the details.
This guy's doing like the fucking Brent Weinberg.
Yeah.
The talking shit hotline.
Yeah. Brent Weinbach. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I just like somebody pissed him off.
Shit right now.
Somebody pissed him off in the comments. He's like, I'll fight everybody.
Right.
Here's my real name. And I did look this guy up on Facebook, by the way.
Fightable?
No, I couldn't he doesn't have his last name in there anymore. There's a lot of Cliff Bruces, but
oh man, I want to find Cliff Martin Bruce. Like, you ready to go, Wolf Rage?
Of the Cliff Bruces that I surveyed, I feel like I could probably beat about 70% of them. There's a few scary Cliff Bruces. If it's one of those, then who knows? But anyway, he says, until then, I'm not going to bark like a little bitch. I'll get it done. Just add me there. So gotta add him on.
Find me on Facebook and fight me in the alley.
Yeah. And finally, Mako Big Finn 1 year ago. R.I.P. to the best drinker, fighter, and hater that I have ever met. I miss you, Dad.
I knew it was going to be Dad.
Sober, you can do anything you put your mind to. Sorry your liver quit. Miss you, bud. Don't hate me for not going to your funeral. You were a major asshole, Pops.
Weirdly uplifting. So.
Yeah, turn up that child abuse music.
Yeah. Oh, fucking fantastic.
This
Shout out
feels like this music sounds like riding to somewhere with your buddy when you're visiting your parents.
There's this particular time period about when this came out, where like everything that sounds like this. There was a guy that I hung out with, and he was older than everybody, so he had a driver's license. And in those situations, when you're 15 and they're 16, you're just stuck with who you're stuck with. And there was a summer before I turned 16 that was this kind of music and drinking Mad Dog 2020 Red Banana.
Oh, shit.
And riding around in a Pontiac Bonneville that smelled like cigarettes and an old person's car, much like the Buick Century.
Yeah.
And anytime I hear this particular thing or like, leave life bleeding in my hand, that song, I have not the red banana taste itself, but the way it tastes on the way back up when you puke it up in the movie gallery parking lot. That's what this sounds like to me.
It sounds like a factory job.
Yeah, that's it.
Town, its favorite color is gray.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, that is Mako Big Fin. Shout out to your dad, Mako. And that is our jam of the day, Crossfade, with their song Cold. You fucked me up, Rick. I almost said CrossFit.
CrossFit.
CrossFit with their song Exercise Protein Powder. Hell yeah. Justin Otis, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, yeah. You can follow me on Instagram at the Justin Otis. I got to change it from Justin Sodas because I got introduced as Justin Sodas at a show I bombed at. And so I realized, this is my crux. So,
Yeah,
the Justin Otis on Instagram.
The Justin Otis. Give Justin a follow. Very funny, dude. If you get a chance to go see him do stand-up, do that as quickly as you can. Rick Wood, where can people find you on the internet?
Stay the hell away from me and my son.
I'm Mako Finn.
You can find me on previous episodes of Goods from the Woods.
That's right, yeah.
I'm going to put my website back up. I'm not doing social media anymore.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm building a cabin in the woods. I'm going to start mailing people packages. I'm just kidding.
Do you got music people can listen to?
Oh, yeah. You can check out Lone Jogger. That's the band I got some music.
One of my favorite band names ever. I love a Lone Jogger.
Lone Jogger. There's three of us.
Yeah.
That's mostly just
You're not exactly lone, to quote Joe Montana.
Yeah, the band's that. We aren't that. It's not the Lone Joggers.
Yeah.
It's just Lone Joggers.
That is a Jeffrey Dahmer reference, correct?
No.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it does kind of sound like that.
That was the first person he killed was a lone jogger. Yeah, that's what I thought. Wisconsin connection there.
The name is maybe it is a Dahmer.
That's what I swear to God I thought. I've been thinking about this whole time.
I used to say it sounds like the victim and perpetrator of a crime.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why I thought it specifically about.
It was a lone jogger.
Yeah.
Did they do it or was it done to them?
Yeah, exactly. Could be either. Oh shit. Well, yeah. Check out Lone Jogger. You can find me on most forms of social media at Rivers Langley, and I wanted to say shout out to This Is Rad. What a run, folks. They are ending their program at the end of June. Yeah, Kyle and Matt, shout out to them. We're gonna have we got something special planned for the last eternal summer of Rad that'll be coming up. So they're not done yet, folks. They still got another month or so keep checking your podcast app. But yeah, just wanted to say shout out to Kyle, shout out to Matt Burnside, Laura, everybody involved with the This Is Rad organization. Being your sister podcast for the last 11 years has been the honor of a lifetime. So shout out to y'all and everybody in y'all's Discord as well. Really cool people. There's a ton of our listeners that came to us from Kyle's podcast. So can't say thank you enough to them. If you would like to see me do stand-up comedy later this week, Canada, I'm headed your way. I'm at the Underground Comedy Club in Vancouver on May 10th. May 11th, I'm at the Rendezvous in Seattle, Washington. May 12th, Eastburn Public House in Portland, Oregon. May 14th, Wild Child Tap Room in Olympia, Washington. That's going to be with my friend Andy Awancio, a friend of the show. May 15th, going back to Vancouver, Little Mountain Gallery. May 16th, this is the big one, folks. Pause for a Beer in Bellingham, Washington. That is a brewery where they let you bring in your furry friends. And that's going to be with Andy Awancio as well, and the incredible indie country punk band Nobody's Peach. So give them a listen. They're great. And then flying down south, May 21st, Levity Live, formerly known as Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama. And then had a little date change. Shout out to my friend Josh Watts for being able to cook something up on the fly. So May 22nd, I'm at the Dungeon Comedy Club at Covington Country Club in Covington, Louisiana. And then the next day, opening for Skylar Higley at Sports Drink Cafe in New Orleans, Louisiana. 2 shows, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Looking forward to that. Skylar is fucking hilarious. Come out and see us. go buy a shirt. ProWrestlingTees.com/TheGoodsPod. Make you look skinny on TV. Best way to support us. Hey, if you're watching this, you're already doing it. Patreon.com/TheGoodsPod. Second best way to support our show. Head to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave a comment, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude. Because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, we're going to disappear and join a monastery. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter @TheGoodsPod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.